Are you doing today? I think it's March 4th. And one of my friends, clients said to me today, it's March 4th. Not only March, the number four, but March 4th. And I thought, oh, I'm sure she's not, I don't know if she made it up or not, but I had never heard it before. And I thought, wow, that's awesome. That's really awesome, especially in light of what's going on in the world today, with this major shift in the veil getting thinner. And I know for some people that's talking Greek. They have no idea what I'm talking about when I say that. But there is a veil between this realm, the physical realm, and the spiritual realm. And normally it's a veil, it shields us so that we can't see what that is. And every once in a while we get a glimpse of it. We always have. Some people are more open to it and they see more of it, but everybody throughout their life, or most people at least, at one point will get a glimpse of that spiritual realm. When we cross over, that's where we go. Now, not only are the different dimensions kind of intermingling and all kinds of weird stuff is happening. We're having a shift in that, like a dimensional shift. But we're also having a very, very thin veil. And because of that, you would think that's a good thing. And a lot of people, it's actually, a lot of people are saying, oh, this is great and nothing to worry about. And I agree that fear is not of God. It's never a good thing. But we should have discernment. It's not all good. Where there is good, there is bad. There is evil, whether you choose to believe it or not. Just like $1 million exists, whether you choose to believe it or not. So, and it seems as if the negative through this thinning veil has chosen to show itself more. And I think the reason for that is because there's probably more people of this physical world that are more prone to the negative than they are the positive, whether that be that they don't believe in the positive, and by default, the negative would be drawn to that. Or whether it be that for some reason the positive, the angels don't choose or are not allowed to show themselves in the same way right now. I'm not sure. I mean, I don't pretend to have some kind of great wisdom on this. So anyway, these things have always tried to run interference in our lives. I mean, that's what it's all about, right? I mean, for them, that's what it's all about. And there's a hierarchy. Just like there's a hierarchy for God, there's a hierarchy for evil. We gotta understand some people purposely follow this too. So, in light of everything that's going on now with the shift, many of us are evolving. People talk about moving into the fourth, fifth dimension. And I can understand that. I can see how we are changing. We are evolving. Our physical bodies are evolving. Our spirituality is evolving. I don't know if that's it, if we're moving into another realm. I mean, there's so many different theories on it. I know that we are ascending. Our vibrations are raising. That's happening whether we know it or not. Some of us who are awake are working on that. We're aware of that, and that's good. But the negative run interference, and they run interference in different ways. So they may just be running interference so that, say, you're not completely awake. Remember, we talked about there are people that are trying to wake up. So maybe you're one of those people that are trying to wake up, and then all these different things keep happening. And what they're trying to do is run interference so that you won't wake up. One of the ways they may do that is through people around you coming to you and saying, this is ridiculous. What are you talking to weird people or something, so that they make you feel kind of stupid, so that you say, okay, I'm going to just drop this, and you start to deny your feelings. That could be one way that they are working through people to run interference. Another way, another way they could do that is through your finances, through your family, all different ways. And what they're trying to do is block you from actually waking up. If you're already awake, they can block you in many different ways as well to try to stop you. So if you're awake and you know that you're ascending and you're working on it, we all have different gifts no matter what they are. And we all always have. But now with the veil being thinner and us ascending at a really rapid rate, our gifts are coming to light more often, our thoughts are being more powerful, we're manifesting easier, these kinds of things. So if you're awake, these negative forces don't want you to be. Whatever the final outcome is, and I'm not sure, I'm not going to sit here and say, I prophesy that the end of times is this date or whatever. I'm not going to say that we are for sure going into the fifth dimension. I am not going to say for sure that anything is happening, because it could be any one of those things. It could be CERN messing with things. It could be HARP. It could be anything. So I do know that we're ascending, but I'm not going to say that that is absolutely it without a doubt, or that this is the beginning of the end, the rapture's coming. I'm not going to say any of that because I don't know for sure. All I know is, regardless of what the final outcome is, right now in this time, those of us that are awake and those of us that are trying to wake up, we all have certain gifts. We all need to use those gifts, and we're all using them personally, solo, individually, and collectively to raise the vibration of all of it. Okay, not only on a personal level, but collectively too. The negatives don't want this to happen. They're trying to stop whatever this outcome is. Now, we all know what the final outcome is, the ultimate final outcome, but maybe that's not it. We don't know that for sure. So whatever this is going on right now, whatever the reason is for the shift, whatever this outcome is going to be, they're trying to block us. So they could be trying to block you just so that you don't get to the point of using your gifts in a way that you will be where you're supposed to be and on the right path. How they're going to do this is through sometimes through finances. And I've heard this from several different people. It's like, okay, I'm supposed to be getting paid on this date and this date. It's normal. It's happened this way for the last 10 years. My check didn't go through. What's wrong? It hasn't, the direct deposit didn't go in, something happened with payroll, all these different things. Or they might be canceling out work on you. I heard from one person who's a contractor that his jobs aren't getting completed, one thing after another, so he's not getting paid. I know for myself, work keeps canceling, or the payments don't go through, or there's some kind of problem, and things keep changing around. So being attacked that way. Through relationships, normally great relationships, negative entities come in, cause strife. The more the strife, the more the fighting, the stronger the entity becomes. It's a vicious cycle. If you find that happening, please stop, think, and stop the fighting, even if the other person won't. Another way is through whatever your soul wounds are, bringing those up to the surface, bringing people into your life that are going to validate them and going to bring you to back to square one, like they're legitimizing them, I guess. Another thing that's happening that I find is toxic relationships that may have been gone. You may have felt overpowered. You may have felt like, okay, this is good, it's done. Next thing you know, that person's back in your life. Toxic relationships don't only affect the person, the other part of the relationship. They affect everybody around that person, everybody that loves that person. If you have children, the toxic relationship destroys children. It can destroy your family. Let me tell you, if you have a friend, a lover, a wife, a husband, even if it's the mother or father of your children, and they come in to a perfectly peaceful situation and begin to manipulate and begin to cause strife with people that normally there is no strife. Now, I'm not talking about if you already have an unhealthy relationship and there's already strife and they just add fuel. I'm talking about if there is no strife and all of a sudden, boom, there's strife. That person, first of all, is very unhealthy for you. You don't belong with that person. And you're probably unhealthy for them as well. So you don't belong together. But also they could be used as a pawn by the negatives to break up. Because remember, united we stand, divided we fall. That's not only for the United States, that's in general, that's spiritually speaking. United we stand. Divide and conquer. That's the enemy's way. He wants to divide and conquer. If he can get you alone, if he can get you weak, he's going to be able to conquer you. They also run interference through electronics. And, like say you're trying to hook up with somebody, it's a teacher, it's a student, it's somebody that together, the two of you can really move mountains. Maybe it's your twin flame, maybe it's a soulmate, maybe it's another spiritual person that when you join together, the power is really there. Every time you call them, they don't get your message. Their phone doesn't ring. You don't get their voicemail. You're talking on the phone, the call keeps dropping and it doesn't drop for anybody else. You go to visit them in a car that's perfectly fine. All of a sudden your car breaks down. Or you try to get together and every time there's a storm, messages aren't going back and forth. Emails aren't going back and forth. If that's happening with somebody, especially somebody in particular, that person and you belong together. Keep trying to connect. Okay. These are some of the things that are going on right now, and I'm only naming a few. I don't want to make this video too long, so I'm only naming a few. So I think I just gave you 6 ways. I think I can go back and count. It's either 5 or 6 ways, and those are, you get the idea, right? Because there are other things that could happen, but these are just the basic things: health, finances, old, negative, not good, unhealthy relationships coming back, strife in the family. Did I say money, health? And just regular, like everyday interference trying to block you from the people that you need to be with. How do we stop this? Well, first of all, one thing that you can do is don't ignore it. Don't pretend that it doesn't exist, but bypass it, override it, go higher than it. So each morning you want to get up. Each morning, first of all, you want to be grateful. You want to walk in gratitude every morning, all throughout the day. Remind yourself to be grateful. Write yourself a little note, put it on your phone, put it on your calendar, whatever you look at all day long. I'm grateful for, and name 1 or 2, 3, 4, 5 things a day. Forgiveness, especially with all this negative stuff going on. That's another way to get somebody, is to make them bitter and angry, and then they're not focused on God because they're focused on their anger, right? So worry, anger, fear, that's how they get you. And these examples are just these blocks that I just named, is how they get us to that point. They get us angry, they get us worried, they get us fearful, right? So each morning when you wake up in gratitude, first of all. And like I said, put yourself some post-it notes, whatever, if you have to, or, keep it in your head, whatever works best for you. Next, walk in forgiveness. Again, if you have to remind yourself, if you have to put notes, I forgive. I will not walk in anger and bitterness today, because if you're walking in anger and bitterness, you're not walking in trust. You're not walking in faith. You're being consumed and overwhelmed by the negative. Another reason why they're doing this, why these negatives are bringing in old, unhealthy relationships, why they're bringing in health issues, why they're bringing in financial issues, because they want to get you to that point of lacking faith. Now, faith is the assurance of that which is hoped for and the conviction of that which is not seen. Remember that. Just keep saying that to yourself. We got to believe who's in power no matter what's going on. We know that we live in a fallen world. We know that bad things happen here. We know that right now through this shift, the bad things seem to be overwhelming, but we know who ultimately wins. We need to stand by our Creator and continue to worship our Creator. Music is a good way to bring you back to your faith, some good worship music. No matter what you like best. I mean, whether it be the old hymns, whether you like the new contemporary stuff, whatever it is, worship music is good. It'll get you kind of in the mood. So walk in gratitude, walk in faith, walk in forgiveness, sing. And you know what I found? You cannot be sad when you're dancing. So even if you have to go in the bathroom, go in your bedroom, go in the closet, lock yourself away for 5 minutes, put on a song and start dancing. Doesn't matter if you can dance or not. Doesn't matter. God doesn't care. You don't care. Nobody's watching. Dance. It's physically impossible to be unhappy and dancing at the same time. Even if it's only for that, however long a song lasts, 2 minutes and something. And every day, physically raise your vibration. So I'm going to stand up, and I'm sorry, but I'm using my phone, so it's probably not going to be all that great. But I put my hands like this, both of them, and I bring them down to like the waist area. and bring it up, 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 up. Breathe in, breathe in, breathe in, breathe in, and come down. When you get to about waist high, go back and around and go up on your toes. Come back down. Now go out and around and spread it everywhere around you. Just envision that energy going all the way around you, around your room, around your home. Go outside of your home. Go into the lives of the people in your home, your neighbors. Go into your town, your community, your state. Go as far as you want. Just spread it out. And in that, not only are you raising your vibration, but you are spreading that good, that cheer for everybody that you're sending it out to, you know? And that can even include the people that haven't been real nice or helpful to you, which will help. You do these things and it's going to keep you on track. It's going to keep you in tune. So then when the distractions come, because this interference is truly demonic, and I know it sounds crazy, just like the whole lifting your vibration to some people will be like big deal, but you know what? Before you knock it, try it. And before you just disregard this whole demonic entities being around, negative energies being around, let's take a look at what's going on in the world. Now, like I said, there are some people that actually do this purposely. They actually want this stuff. They want to destroy good. They feel like, whether they're angry at God, they believe there is no God, they find us to be foolish, whatever it is. But they want what they want. One world order is, and I don't want to get into politics, but it's a real thing. Anyway, there, if you don't believe it, don't believe it. But you know what? Just try giving this a shot. Do it for a couple days, do it for a week, and tell me what happens. I've decided to do something. A client was talking to me about it today, and I think she's got a good idea. Every Monday, I am going to offer free sessions, 15, 20-minute sessions, maybe longer if you need it, for a donation. And if you're not sure what a session is, basically you just ask me, tell me what's going on in your life, ask me what you need clarity on, whatever it is, and we'll take it from there. We'll talk. We'll either talk via video, we'll talk via phone, and they're free. If you can donate, that's great. If you can't, that's okay. Every Monday. So if you're interested in that, leave a comment, or you can reach me. If you go to the description, you can reach me through Google Plus. You can email me at answers4you16@gmail.com. If I don't answer you right away, please do not be offended. I'm not able to check the emails all the time. You could leave me a comment here. Also, another thing with your email, and I'll get back to you. Another thing that I'm doing is, I think I'm at 142 now, but if you subscribe, share, like, and comment, and let me know you did. When I get up to 200, I'm giving away a full hour-long session, which is worth $145. So every Monday, I'm going to give away a freebie. Like I said, if you can donate, great. If you can't, that's fine. Anyway, any day, whether you want a session or not, if you can donate, that's great. I'll leave a link in the description. If you can't, that's fine too. If you see something you like, you want to share, if you have a question, definitely ask me. And every Monday, and I'll do as many as I can, at least one or two. Maybe some Mondays I'll be able to do more. And it can be about anything at all. It can be about this kind of stuff. It can be spiritual questions. It can be what's going on at work, relationship, health, whatever it is. And I'll try to help you the best I can. Okay. Like I said, this video went longer than I wanted it to already. I don't want to bore anybody, but please look out for interference. There really is interference, and we really do need to block it. Anyway, you guys, I love you guys. You take care, and I'll see you in the next video.